Good evening, everybody. It's Monday night. Time to share the gift as we've been doing for, quite a number of weeks now. And even though it may seem like we've been meeting for quite a while, it's really, in the grand scheme of things, it's a short time we've all been together here. I think we're looking forward to, an awful lot. Tonight we've got something very special. Really, for everything that's been going on for the last few months, it all evolves around a beginning. Not just the beginning of Aroga Life, which maybe you've just heard about this, maybe you've been around for a while, or in some cases, as we used to say, maybe you've known about Dr. Bill McAnalley since Moby Dick was a minnow. Well, there are people that have known Dr. Bill McAnalley for quite a number of years, and, although Aroga Life is rather new, beginning March of 2016, everything behind Aroga Life is been around quite a while. The man we're going to really introduce here tonight to share a little of the details that we can give you in this short few minutes here tonight, because we could be here a long time because there's an awful lot to really tell. As we say, when we peel back the layers, the deeper you dig, the more powerful it's going to get. So we can just do so much here tonight. But, there was a story many years ago about a couple doctors from the Dallas area that, were working on a particular area of research and had made some pretty groundbreaking discoveries. And so one thing led to another. And, at that point, a lot of people began to hear about Dr. Bill McAnalley, not even realizing that long before even that point in time, back in the early 90s, that, this had begun a long time earlier. And really, I think for a lot of people, as we've really investigated everything that Dr. Bill McAnalley has been about, and, from a story that really led him on a road of research, from his young years, it's really about something that happened long before all of us, and something that was put there where, through science today we now know about. And, that being said, when I look at Dr. Bill McAnalley today and what we're doing with Aroga Life, it again might seem like something rather new, a beginning, but there's an awful lot of history behind all of this. Dr. Bill McAnalley today is the president, chief science officer, and co-founder of Aroga Life. But Dr. Bill McAnalley received his bachelor's of science in chemistry and math in 1968 from Angelo State University, a master's in natural science in 1973 from New Mexico Highlands University. Dr. Bill McAnalley received a PhD in pharmacology and toxicology in the late 70s from the University of Texas Health Science Center in Dallas. He also received postdoctoral training in forensic and clinical toxicology at the University of Texas Health Science Center in Dallas. Dr. McAnalley also served as adjunct faculty at the University of Texas Health Science Center and Southwestern Medical School, and this is a lot of his preliminary work that led him up to many things that, introduced Dr. McAnalley to all of us. He also worked, for the United States Environmental Protection Agency, where he served as regional toxicology expert for U.S. District 6. While at the U.S., Environmental Protection Agency, Dr. McAnalley evaluated hazardous waste sites, prepared scientific support for enforcement cases, and gave testimonials on behalf of the United States government. Dr. McAnalley also served on the EPA's lead and dioxin committees. He served as research director for Prime Toxicology Laboratories that offered statewide rapid drug screenings, and back in the beginnings in the mid-'80s. And he served as director for Carrington Laboratories, where he developed the first marketed hydrogel and wound dressing. He based his technology on the aloe vera, a plant used really for centuries in herbal management of wounds. More than 20 years later, hydrogels have become commonplace around the world as, an important standard of care for topical and oral wounds. Additionally, Dr. McAnalley identified ace-mannan, the active ingredient in aloe. As a result, he developed the ace-mannan hydrogels and wound cleansers for human and animals both. Kerosene hydrogels and wound cleansers continue to be amongst the leaders in hydrogel therapy and technology. Also, while at Carrington, he developed a vaccine adjuvant for that has been used with the U.S. Department of Agriculture's antigen for Marek's disease, developed the Ace-Mannan immunostimulant for fibrosarcoma in cats and dogs, and developed Manipol, a human immunostimulant. So, as you can see, there's an awful lot of history when we get to talking about Dr. Bill McAnalley. 2016 looks to be, a milestone year for Dr. McAnalley with the launch of, the patented, Aroga Life products, for almost a decade of research into apoptosis, the natural process that occurs in the human body to eliminate unhealthy cells, and, all that evolved around the development of supplements to allow the multiple cellular pathways for this science of apoptosis to occur. While these proprietary blends are, really whole plant extracts and, food compounds that are really the only supplements of their kind. And as a result for all of this is just, driven by the passion that Dr. Bill McAnalley has had for truly developing products that help the body help itself. So, tonight I have the unique opportunity to introduce the developer, the inventor, the man behind everything that is going on here with Aroga Life, and that is Dr. Bill McAnalley himself. Dr. Bill, are you with me tonight?
Yes, I am.
I know I had to read most of that, Dr. Bill, because, I just want people to understand that, you've come from a long history of successes and have built an incredible foundation of respect and recognition for all the details that you look at and, that really lead you to everything that we have today. So, I hear this word apoptosis and, it's something that naturally occurs in the body, I hear. And so what led you onto this, a number of years back, and what got you started here?
Well, scientists have known for a long time that cells die two ways. They by necrosis, that is where the cell actually is cut or bust open, and the cellular ingredients cause inflammation. And then they can also die by apoptosis, which does not cause inflammation, but the cells gradually shrivel up into small little vesicles, and they are phagocytized, kind of like taking a house down that's been damaged and cleaning the bricks and using all the lumber you can use again. And then all of those cellular parts are used to make new cells. And today we know that between 50 and 70 billion cells are broken down by apoptosis in the average adult. So what we didn't know is that there are pathways that are turned on inside cells by food ingredients that repair cells. These different pathways are turned on by ingredients that most of which are slightly bitter. And a lot of these bitter ingredients have been genetically or screened out. And so we've lost a lot of them. We still have some, but we don't have what we had when the food was originally made. So what I wanted to do is find the different pathways that we used to have in foods that would turn those pathways on. And then I made them into 4 different products. That is, pathways that help repair brain and nerve cells, that help bone and joint cells and endocrine system. You can't help the bone and joint if you don't help the endocrine system, which are all of your glandular products, which include calcitonin as well as sex hormones, and then the GI products, and then the immune system. So we have 4 different products designed to support apoptosis in 4 major areas of the body. I hope that clarifies it some.
Well, it's simple how you can just look at the products and look at maybe what area of concern to choose or to get started. And so I guess what I'm hearing is that really every product that we've begun with here supports a particular pathway, but all really heads toward the same direction. That's to support that ability to build healthy cells in the correct way and get rid of the ones that are not healthy. And that's, in a nutshell, I guess, what you're saying. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. And, what happens is first, the ingredients in the cells, and most of them are sterols, and they're bitter. And they, when you eat the food, they're in the food. They're slightly bitter, and it tells the cell that here comes the nutrients that will help repair your bone, joint, or whatever areas of your body that need to be repaired. And that's something we didn't know. We didn't know that apoptosis pathways first try to repair cells, and a lot of cells are repaired. This is very important because cells can only divide so many times. For example, fibroblasts can divide about 55 to 60 times. And each time they divide, their telomeres get shorter. A lot of people are hearing about telomeres. And if you can repair the cells and not force them to divide and replace a cell that couldn't be fixed, then obviously we should have cells that can divide much, much longer. And in theory, we should live longer.
Well, I like the way that sounds. Dr. Bill, I've got a friend of mine on the phone, and I know you know Mark Johnson. Mark is located in the Atlanta, Georgia area, and I'll tell you, Mark's an engineer, and you can tell that real quick when you talk with Mark. He's very particular, very precise, and you talk about understanding the details. But he also has a unique gift at being able to translate that into language that most people can understand. And Mark has touched an awful lot of people with your gift. And, but Mark's on the call with me, and he's got some particular questions that have come up with people over the last few months, and had a few things he wanted to bounce off just for a little clarity for everybody. Mark, are you with me?
Yes, Jeff.
I know you and I talked earlier, Mark, and a few key things that a few people have asked, and even though, we've understood a little bit, but you had some things in particular you wanted to ask. Go ahead.
Yes, Dr. McAnalley, it's a real honor to get to do this and ask you these questions. We've had some folks from the field that have asked some of these. Here's one that comes in a lot. If one could only purchase, say, one of these products, let's say that they're having financial issues or whatever, and they're looking at just one. Is there any particular one product that you would recommend as being, like, say, a number one product, or one that they should buy first? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, all four of the products are important, and they work in different areas of the body. But if you can only afford one, pick the area of your body that you think needs the most support. For example, if you think you need brain and nerve support, take the brain and nerve support product, which supports apoptosis pathways in the brain and nerve. If you have bone, joint, or endocrine problems, that you feel like you need support in that area, then take the bone, joint, and endocrine product. If you feel like you need support in the GI, then that's your gastrointestinal, of course, then take the GI support. And then if you want just general apoptosis support and immune support, take the apoptosis and immune support product. So each one of them is designed to help. Basically, each one can help all the areas of the body, but they're designed for specific areas, and that's where most of the help goes. So you'll have a little help in all of the areas from each one of the products. But pick the one that you feel like you need supported the most.
Okay, thank you for that. The other question we had is why, and I think you touched on it lightly, but maybe you could elaborate a little bit. Why is the endocrine support mixed with bone and joint support, in that particular product?
Well, if you're going to have healthy bone and joints, you have to support your endocrine systems. And that's, all of your different hormones, which is not just your sex hormones, which are important, but calcitonin and other hormones that help you make healthy bones. So you have to support the endocrine system if you're going to support the bone and joint health.
Okay. We have another question. Xylitol is commonly known as a sweetener. It's, of course, we know that there's different sources even for that. But, it's like a healthy alternative, to normal table sugar that most people eat. But why is xylitol used within some of your capsules, particularly the immune support? You have xylitol in there. And why is that?
Xylitol is found in all sorts of our food in small amounts. It's even found in birch trees, and in fact, that's where we get ours from. And it supports the immune system. It really helps the white cells, and the white cells are a key part of our immune system. So it's a very safe way to support the immune system.
Okay. And what about vitamins? We hear this a lot. Do these products contain the vitamins and minerals a person needs each day, or should they consider supplementing? And you've got essential oils and other areas. What are your thoughts there?
Well, right now I take 4 other products, and I think probably most people should. I take a good vitamin mineral supplement, and I take about half a daily dose if I'm eating good. If for some reason I don't eat, then I'll take a full daily dose of vitamin mineral. I take fish oils, and I like those from Norway, like Carlson's, from real clean water. So I take a fish oil. I take vitamin D3, which is the active form of vitamin D. They've shown that men and women both, because we now know that sun causes cancer, we cover up and we put sunscreens on, and we don't get the sun that we used to get. So we need much more vitamin D in the active form, since we're not going to go out in the sun and activate it. So you need D3, and I would take between 2,000 and 5,000 international units a day. Then I also take CoQ10, and I take 400 milligrams of CoQ10 a day. So those are the supplements I take. And I think basically everything else you need are in our supplements.
Wow, thank you.
And I plan to add those to our line, sometime in the future. It's just that right now FDA analyzes. They can measure single vitamins and minerals. And since that's something they can measure, like normally each ingredient costs $20 to $30 to analyze. But if you take like an herb that has 2,000 ingredients in it, if it's $20 per ingredient, that makes it cost prohibitive. So up until recently, they haven't had assays for herbs. And that's why in a recent study conducted by the Attorney General in New York, he showed that of all the supplements made by GNC, the herbal supplements, not the vitamins and minerals, but the herbal supplements by GNC, Target, Walmart, and Walgreens, only around 20% of them had DNA from the herbs that were listed on the label. And the one with the forest showing was Walmart, with 4% of the herbal products having DNA. And the fact that it has a DNA doesn't mean that there was 4%. That just means that if 4% of the herbs had some DNA in there. Because when you use the DNA analysis, it multiplies with PCR. Like people who have their genes run, they may take a little swab or stick and rub it inside their cheek and stick it in a container then they send it off, and they multiply that DNA with a process called PCR. They can make all of it they want multiplied, and then they can analyze it for several different assays. But the fact that a little bit of DNA or a lot of DNA will just tell you that there is some plant in there. So right now, I know those products. Right now, FDA is trying to figure out whether GNC, Target, Walmart, and Walgreens had knowledge, and I expect they'll be paying huge fines here in the future. Right now, the largest fine I know that was paid for was by Abbott Pharmaceuticals, which is $600 and something million. So I think if this group had knowledge of that, they could be paying more than that. So
Whoa.
A lot of people just think they've had these herbs, but they haven't. And the only way we can put them in there is by hand. And they need to be freeze-dried. Air-dried, a lot of it decomposes. And we've developed our own proprietary test where we measure all the functional groups to make sure that not only are they in there, but that they're in there in the amount that we want. So our products are 100% of the contents on the label, not 4 or 5%.
That's fantastic.
That's why people are having amazing results.
And then finally, we talk about pathways. We hear pathways used, and some people have asked this question. Exactly what is a pathway? Is it like a tube or a pipe? What I'm saying? Exactly what is a pathway?
Okay, well, inside cells, you have inside every cell, you have a lot of different pathways that keep that cell healthy. And we didn't know these pathways existed until recently, and they're still discovering them. If you just go to your computer and look at Yahoo or Google, I like Yahoo because you don't get quite so many hits. But if you look at apoptosis pathways and look at images, you'll see hundreds of images of the different pathways. And they're still discovering them and unlocking them. But there's more going on inside a cell than we could ever have imagined. And that's that cells, when they receive certain food, it activates these pathways, and it also has the nutrients. So the pathway is ready to repair the cell, and it needs the nutrients, and the nutrients come with that food. So different foods activate different pathways. And that's why we have several different ingredients in our Aroga products.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. McAnalley. We appreciate your time for joining us on this call. Jeff, I'm going to turn back to you. That's all I had here.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you, Dr. McAnalley.
Well, I hope I hope that helps. And if you have more questions like that, I would love to cover them in future calls. I hope that was helpful.
Well, we're taking questions all the time, and so we'll certainly be putting them together, and we just hope that you'll come back and answer them right here live so people can hear all the answers. I think as people learn a little more about you and Aroga Life, they're peeling back the layers and digging, looking for the answers. So just appreciate everything you've said tonight.
And thank you all for having me on the call.
Thank you. Dr. Bill, I've got
Sure.
a couple of people in particular here with me tonight, and my wife Judy and I were very fortunate to hear about some things you'd done years ago, and immediately, I say immediately, it took me a while to kind of open my mind because I wasn't in tune to anything you were doing and had never heard about you, but it didn't take but a few months and a little bit of the experience that my wife experienced in just a few weeks. And so you truly put us on an incredibly new pathway. In fact, I'm doing today what I'd never dreamed I'd ever do, and it was simply because of just straight up you. My prayers, I believe, were answered because I had asked for something that would help us where we were at, and my wife had some incredible health challenges, and So again, I didn't quite grasp it at first, but when I did, it changed my life, and I truly, again, am on a different pathway. But again, I was lucky, and I've got a friend of mine on the phone with me that I know she kind of feels the same way. Carolyn, are you with me?
Yes, I am.
Is there anything you'd like to say to Dr. Bill tonight?
Yes, there is. Hi, Dr. McAnalley. I'm Carolyn Huff, and I'm one of the people that has been blessed to know about you and your work for years. In fact, I've over 18 years. I have always had a lot of health concerns, and someone shared with me some things that you had done. All I can say is my life has never been the same. Today, on these products, my experiences are even better. I just wanted to say thank you for everything. You truly put me on a pathway toward better health, and I just want to thank you again.
Thank you, Carolyn.
You're welcome.
Carolyn, you were somebody that was with all of us when we first heard, and there's a lot of people that don't know who Dr. Bill McAnalley is today, and maybe have never heard his name, and they're just recently finding out, and of course many more to come. But I've got a good friend of mine that I've just recently met. Cheryl Gordon lives in Jonesboro, Arkansas, and her and her husband Greg really knew nothing about Dr. Bill McAnalley, and some things changed in Cheryl's life in particular. And so, Cheryl, are you with me here tonight?
Yes, Jeff.
Is there anything in particular that you'd like to say to Dr. Bill McAnalley tonight?
Yes, there is. Hi, Dr. McAnalley. This is Cheryl. From what I hear, many people have known about you for many years, but I haven't. And I just wanted to tell you I had some real health concerns. And just recently, I've been told about Aroga Life and about you. And I just wanted to say thank you for everything you've done. My health was declining quickly, and I had been gaining a lot of weight, had no energy. But my experiences with Aroga Life have just been extraordinary. It's just been life-changing for me. I'm now exercising daily. I feel great, and it's because of these products. And I feel so good that I just want to exercise. And I've now lost 39.5 pounds, and I just truly want to thank you. And these products have just put me on this new pathway, and I just feel like I'm going to be healthier every day because of these products. And thank you, Dr. McAnalley. I appreciate everything you do for us.
Well, thank you for sharing your story.
You're welcome.
Well, Dr. Bill, we've gone about 30 minutes into this call, and again, like I said in the beginning, we could just keep going. And I know a lot of people are probably still glued to every word, and but there's a time to bring it to an end. And this call will be up for recording for the rest of the week here, and I'm sure a lot of people get a chance to listen to it again. So, Dr. Bill McAnalley, will you come back with us here in a few weeks, and as we gather some more questions and maybe update us on some more things that are coming?
You bet. I would be glad to come back anytime.
Fantastic. Thank you. Well, I guess as they say in Oklahoma, we heard it from the horse's mouth tonight. We've got a very special gift, a very important responsibility. If you've just heard about this for the first time tonight, or maybe you're listening to this message and you've been hearing a little bit about this for a while now, just know that it's your time. And, in some cases I've heard people say, well, I didn't know that this was anything that I might be interested in. And something that I want to encourage you to think about is that there's somebody standing around you that needs to hear what you just heard. And, although you might not see how it applies in your life at this very moment, just know that there's somebody around you that it could mean everything to, like it's meant to Cheryl and also Carolyn and myself, and literally at this point hundreds, and literally we've topped 1,000, almost 1,500 or more people that have just climbed on board in just the last short 2 months. And so, as we begin here and lean forward, I'm sure that there's so many people right now that are on their knees crying and praying, looking for something that will make a difference for them, a new pathway, another way to go about things, however you want to look at it. Aroga Life is truly about, supporting life from the inside out. So when you hear this term gift, what it really means is that Dr. Bill McAnalley was given a gift of that inquisitive nature to follow a great creator, to look deep in the human body, to find the answers that I think are most important for all of us. I think you heard him mention lightly about how you can support a cell to live its life longer. And that means we live our life longer, and we live it healthy and well, and not with all the complications that we see in health today. Not to guarantee anything, but to say we have a chance. We have hope, as they call it. And hope simply is an acronym that means help out people everywhere. And that's kind of our movement, our mission, if you will, that we take on when we understand who Dr. Bill McAnalley is, the value he brings to the table, and especially for the first time ever, everything you heard about Dr. McAnalley, everything that he's done, and his fingerprints on many products that are, out in the marketplace today. Some products in particular that, have led companies on a pathway that, did billions of dollars worth of business collectively over the years. And so, the success of what Dr. Bill McAnalley is, again, self-evident today. And so, but again, the first is where we're at tonight with Aroga Life. The fact that this is the first company ever put together with the precise, very directed intent to bring the works of Dr. Bill McAnalley to market. Those of you that are hearing this message are hearing something very unique, very timely, very rare, something that's never been done before. And so we call that the gift of Aroga Life, and how it supports life and puts us all on pathways that maybe help us find a better one. So thank you for joining us tonight and hearing this message. And just remember, somebody around you is looking for answers, looking on, that pathway for themselves. So just say, look, I heard something that I don't know if I really believe, but you need to hear this, and let them get on this road for their own self and maybe to solve some of their own issues. So again, thank you for the time, and join us next week as we open this door a little wider with a little more information. Good night, everybody. May God bless you.
Is it?